Welcome to the deep dive. Ever ever get a comment that just feels off?
Yeah, like maybe a compliment that somehow leaves you feeling a bit insulted.
Exactly. So today we're diving into the sources you sent over, really getting into the fascinating, sometimes tricky world of sarcasm.
hmm
Our goal here is to give you the tools, really, to understand how it works.
So you can handle those interactions without getting confused or, well, upset.
Yeah, without feeling like you missed something vital.
And the materials raise some great questions, don't they? Like,
Sure.
why does cool story, bro, basically mean, okay, please stop talking now?
Right. Or how can, wow, amazing, said really flatly, feel like, I don't know, a warning.
Or even, the British lovely,
Mm-hmm.
when does it actually mean something quite negative?
These are the kinds of puzzles we're tackling, and hopefully by the end of this, you'll have a much clearer idea.
We're going to break down what one source calls the sarcasm triad.
Ah, yes, the tone, the pauses, and the eyebrows. Key signals.
And we'll look at some work-safe ways to respond, like using a question mark.
Like thanks, putting it back on them.
Exactly. And we'll decode why, oh, please, can sometimes be the sarcastic way of saying, well, something much ruder.
It all connects back to that great title from one of the readings.
Oh, yeah. Sarcasm 101. How to not cry when someone says, wow, great job.
Perfect. It really nails the potential emotional hit.
It really does.
Wow.
So where should we start? That triad.
Let's do it. The sarcasm triad. First up, tone. The source says deadpan is danger.
That's a good way to put it. Your sources really stress how delivery changes everything.
Like, great job.
Say, great job, all pricky and upbeat, that's praise.
Yeah.
Clear.
Okay.
But say, great job, completely flat, monotone.
And it means you've messed this up entirely.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That lack of expected enthusiasm, that mismatch, signals something's off. The literal meaning isn't the real meaning.
The voice is fighting the words, which is so different from genuine excitement, where the tone just is the exclamation point.
And then there are subtler things, like drawing out a word. Wow, that's something.
The source suggests that specific intonation can mean this is basically a crime.
Yeah, or at least this is really not good.
Yeah.
It's those little vocal cues hinting at the real feeling underneath.
Like the words are okay, but the music is all wrong.
Spot on. Which brings us neatly to the second part of the triad,
Yeah.
the pause. Dramatic silence.
So it's not just any silence, it's doing something.
Oh, absolutely. In sarcasm, a pause,
Right.
especially after something that sounds positive, just hangs there.
Gives you time to process.
Exactly. Time to notice how absurd the statement is, maybe. It highlights the gap between the words and reality. The silence itself is kind of pointing and saying, see.
Okay. So tone betrays the feeling. The pause emphasizes the irony.
Right.
What about the third one? The eyebrow.
The nonverbal betrayal, as one source dramatically puts it.
Correcto.
Me too. It's about how your face gives the game away. Like saying,
True.
sure, whatever you say.
Okay, agreeing.
But at a raised eyebrow, the agreement vanishes. It suddenly means, I don't believe you, or even just liar.
It's that total clash between the words and the face.
Our faces are often terrible liars, Sarcasm really plays on that mismatch.
Verbal says one thing, nonverbal screams another. And there was that listener story in the source material to illustrate this.
Yes, a really good one. This person's coworker reacting to their presentation.
What did they say?
Fascinating presentation. But said really slowly,
Oh, no.
with slow clapping.
Ouch. Yeah, slow clapping is rarely a genuine compliment.
Exactly. And the source mentioned the presenter was genuinely quite distressed. It shows that sarcasm can actually, sting.
Definitely. Okay, so we're getting a handle on how to spot it.
Mhm.
But the sources also talk about cultural differences, right? Sarcasm isn't quite the same everywhere.
That's a key point. It's really tied into communication styles. Take American English. You might love that for you.
Said when something clearly bad has happened.
Precisely. It means, oh, that's really unfortunate. The sarcasm's often in the exaggeratedly positive tone for a negative situation.
Right, that feigned enthusiasm. Then, British English.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes. The sources suggest something like a simple, brilliant,
Just brilliant.
well, brilliant, followed by a pointed sip of tea.
Eh,
Apparently, that combo can mean, I strongly disapprove, maybe even apologize to my ancestors, as one source cheekily put it.
wow, so it's much more understated.
Seems that way. The understatement, the almost nonchalant action alongside, it gives it that specific British flavor, perhaps,
Yeah.
maybe linked to avoiding direct confrontation.
That makes sense. A more indirect style,
And then Australia, yeah, nah,
which basically means absolutely not.
just straight up.
Well, it sounds casual, that's the Aussie way, maybe. but the meaning is a definite no. It's a contradiction packed into two small words.
Fascinating how different cultures wrap it up. Really shows you need context. And speaking of context, there was that pro tip.
Oh yes, the universal warning signal.
If someone starts with no offense, but run. Or at least brace yourself, because offense is almost certainly coming.
Good advice. Okay, so we can spot it. We know it varies. What do we do about it? How do you survive a sarcastic comment? The sources had strategies.
They did. First up, the thanks. Defense. Simple, but maybe quite powerful.
How does that work?
You just reply to the sarcastic comment with a questioning thanks, like you're slightly unsure.
Ah, so you're not accepting it fully.
Exactly. It kind of pressures them to clarify, were they serious or not? You're subtly asking them to own the sarcasm. It can be quite disarming.
Makes them pause. I like it. Okay, what else?
Strategy 2, mirror their energy. Fight fire with fire, basically.
So sarcasm back at them.
Yeah, but equally obvious, they say, dripping with it, wow, you're so helpful.
And you reply.
With something like, wow, you're so observant. Same exaggerated tone, it playfully calls them out.
Requires a bit of quick thinking, that one. And maybe reading the room.
Definitely. Not for every situation. Which leads to the third one, which sounds kind of funny. Play dumb.
Play dumb. The ultimate power move, apparently.
Yeah, the idea is you pretend you completely missed the sarcasm. Respond with over-the-top sincerity.
Oh, you were joking. Gosh, I totally missed that.
Seriously?
Seriously. The source suggests watching their reaction is key. It can make them feel awkward because now the sarcastic barb just fell flat.
Yeah.
They might even have to explain it.
Which totally ruins the sarcasm.
Exactly. Acting clueless can sometimes be surprisingly powerful.
I can just picture the sarcastic person's face.
Okay, so to help you, the listener, actually use this stuff, there's a listener challenge.
Yep, time for some real-world practice, drawing straight from the material.
Yeah.
3 parts to this week's mission.
Okay, lay it on us.
1, try to spot an instance of perfect, just perfect. Bonus points if you sense clenched teeth nearby.
Okay, challenge number 1 accepted. Number 2.
Use cool story in real life. Maybe someone tells you their cat learned to high five.
And you hit them with a casual, cool story, bro, got it. Use with caution, though.
Absolutely. Know your audience. And finally, number 3, try the thanks defense.
So if someone says, you really nailed it, sarcastically.
You reply with a simple, slightly questioning thanks. And just notice what happens next.
It's all about trying these things out, seeing how they feel, how people react, but maybe carefully. Remember that cautionary tale.
Oh, right. Told my roommate, love how you wash the dishes. They moved out.
Yeah. A good reminder that sarcasm, even if you don't mean harm, can sometimes backfire.
Definitely. Understanding it is one thing, using it wisely is another.
Exactly. So wrapping up this deep dive, the aim was to help you navigate these social currents better, to avoid tears or start wars, as one source put it so well.
Yeah, use that sarcasm triad knowledge, maybe experiment a little with those survival tactics, and definitely give the sarcasm spy challenge a go.
You might surprise yourself with what you notice about how people communicate indirectly. So now you have your sarcasm radar, your decoder ring. Use it well.
And next time, we're tackling another potentially tricky area of communication.
Oh, yeah. What's up next?
Passive-aggressive post-its. Office warfare in color.
Ooh, it sounds juicy. Definitely another deep dive worth tuning in for.